A fall after the age of 50 is not just a simple accident, it can become a turning point that quietly changes the rest of a person's life. What seems like a small slip in the bathroom, on stairs, or even while walking on a flat surface can quickly lead to serious consequences, such as fractures, internal bleeding, head injuries, and long-term loss of mobility. The most dangerous part is not always the fall itself, but what happens in the minutes and hours afterward when many people make critical mistakes without realizing it. In this video, you will learn the 5 critical steps every senior must do immediately after a fall, steps that can reduce complications, protect your independence, and in some cases, prevent permanent disability. I am Dr. Walker Official, and for over 25 years, I've focused on helping adults over 60 manage common aging-related health challenges, from circulation and joint issues to muscle loss and memory concerns. In this video, I'll show you what's really happening after a fall and the simple, practical steps that can truly make a difference. Here is what makes this so urgent. According to health data in the United States, 1 in 4 adults over the age of 65 experiences a fall each year, and falls remain the leading cause of injury-related deaths in older adults. Even more concerning, many seniors who survive a fall never fully regain their previous level of independence. A single untreated injury can silently reduce mobility, confidence, and quality of life within weeks. The real danger is that most people focus only on the visible injury, while internal damage or delayed complications go unnoticed. This is exactly where mistakes happen, and where the right immediate actions can completely change the outcome. What I'm about to share is not just a list. It is a ranked, step-by-step survival guide after a fall. And surprisingly, most seniors unknowingly make at least one critical mistake in the first few minutes that makes recovery harder. To understand why a fall becomes so dangerous after the age of 50, we need to look at what is happening inside the body, not just on the surface. Most people assume a fall is only a mechanical accident, but in reality, it is often the result of gradual, silent biological decline that has been building for years. As we age, 3 key systems start to weaken at the same time: muscle strength, bone density, and balance control. Muscle loss, known in medical research as sarcopenia, begins as early as the 40s and accelerates after 60. Clinical studies show that adults can lose up to 3 to 8% of muscle mass per decade, which directly affects stability and reaction time during sudden movements. When the body cannot respond quickly enough, even a small imbalance can lead to a fall. Bone density also plays a major role. According to osteoporosis research, bone mineral density can decrease by around 1% per year after midlife, making bones more fragile and more likely to fracture even after minor trauma. This is why a simple fall that might have caused only bruising in younger years can lead to hip fractures or spinal injuries in older adults. Balance control is equally important. The inner ear, vision, and nerve response system all coordinate to keep us upright. Geriatric specialists note that reaction time slows significantly with age, and this delay increases the risk of falling when walking on uneven surfaces, turning quickly, or standing up too fast. Clinical findings from aging research consistently show that over 30% of adults above 65 experience at least one fall each year, and nearly half of those individuals experience fear of falling again, which leads to reduced activity. This inactivity then causes even faster muscle loss, creating a dangerous cycle. What makes this even more concerning is that standard medical advice often focuses only on treating injuries after a fall, not correcting the underlying weakness in muscles, bones, and balance systems that caused the fall in the first place. This is why falls tend to repeat, and why recovery becomes harder each time. But understanding this biological chain reaction is the first step toward breaking it. Now, before we move forward, it's important to see where most people go wrong immediately after a fall, and how those mistakes silently worsen the situation. After a fall, most seniors and even caregivers follow instinctive but incomplete advice that can unintentionally make recovery harder. One of the most common mistakes is trying to stand up immediately without assessing the body. While this may seem like a natural response, it can worsen hidden injuries such as hip fractures, spinal compression, or internal bleeding. Moving too quickly increases strain on already damaged tissues and may turn a minor injury into a severe one. Another widespread misconception is relying only on pain as an indicator of injury. Many serious conditions, especially internal bleeding or hairline fractures, do not cause immediate strong pain. Clinical observations show that delayed symptoms are extremely common in older adults, which is why early medical assessment is critical even when the fall feels minor. A third mistake is ignoring observation time after the fall. Some people assume that if they can walk or stand, everything is fine. However, research in geriatric medicine shows that complications like swelling, dizziness, or neurological changes can appear hours later. Standard advice often focuses on symptom relief, like painkillers, rest, or ice, but this does not address the underlying issue: weakened balance systems, fragile bones, and reduced neuromuscular response. The important truth is this: a fall is not just an event, it is a warning sign of deeper biological decline, and when handled correctly in the first moments, recovery outcomes can improve significantly and further damage can often be prevented. Now that we understand what goes wrong, we can move into what actually works: the step-by-step ranked actions that can protect safety, mobility, and independence after a fall. After a fall, what you do in the first minutes can influence the entire recovery process. These steps are ranked from least effective but still helpful to the most critical actions that can protect life, mobility, and long-term independence. Starting at number 10, simply trying to ignore the fall and see how you feel later is one of the weakest responses. Many seniors assume that if pain is mild, nothing serious has happened. However, this approach often delays detection of hidden injuries, such as fractures or internal bruising, allowing complications to quietly worsen. At number 9, attempting to stand up immediately without checking for dizziness, sharp pain, or instability can increase injury severity. The body needs a short pause to assess neurological and physical response before movement. Number 8 is delaying communication, waiting too long before calling for help. Whether it is a family member, caregiver, or emergency service, early assistance reduces the risk of secondary injury, especially if balance or consciousness is affected. At number 7, ignoring pain signals or continuing normal activity too quickly is a common mistake. Pain is not just discomfort, it is a protective warning from the nervous system that tissue damage may exist. Number 6 involves failing to use basic cold therapy like an ice pack on visible swelling or bruising. While it does not treat the root cause, it can help limit inflammation and reduce early tissue damage in the first 24 hours. At number 5, not maintaining proper hydration after a fall can slow recovery. Dehydration can worsen dizziness, reduce circulation efficiency, and delay tissue repair, especially in older adults. Number 4 is avoiding gentle movement entirely for long periods without medical advice. While rest is important initially, complete immobility for too long can increase stiffness, reduce circulation, and slow muscle recovery. Number 3 is not getting a proper medical evaluation even when symptoms seem mild. Clinical assessments can detect fractures, internal bleeding, or head trauma that are not immediately obvious. Number 2 involves not observing the body for delayed symptoms such as confusion, nausea, increasing pain, or difficulty walking. These signs often appear hours later and are medically significant. Finally, at number 1, the most important step is a structured post-fall response: staying calm, remaining still initially, performing a careful body scan for pain or instability, and then making a deliberate decision about movement and medical help. This controlled approach prevents panic-driven actions that often cause secondary injuries. Together, these ranked actions show a clear pattern. The safest recovery begins not with movement, but with awareness, patience, and structured decision-making in the first critical minutes. Among all the steps after a fall, 3 actions consistently stand out as the most protective for seniors: controlled rest and assessment, early medical evaluation when needed, and gentle reactivation of movement once safety is confirmed. These are not complicated interventions, but their timing and precision determine recovery quality. The first and most important is controlled rest with full body awareness. After a fall, the body should remain still for at least a few moments while you slowly check for pain in the head, neck, spine, hips, and limbs. This helps identify hidden injuries before any movement occurs. Calm. Breathing during this stage also helps stabilize blood pressure and reduce dizziness caused by shock. The second is timely medical evaluation. If there is head impact, persistent pain, confusion, dizziness, or inability to bear weight, medical assessment should not be delayed. Even in cases where symptoms appear mild, older adults benefit from professional imaging or examination because fractures and internal injuries can be subtle at first. The third and most powerful long-term step is gradual reactivation of movement once cleared. This includes very light, controlled mobility, such as assisted walking or simple stretching under supervision. Studies in geriatric rehabilitation show that early but safe movement improves circulation, reduces stiffness, and supports faster functional recovery. The most critical focus among these is controlled rest and assessment. It works because it prevents the two biggest dangers after a fall: premature movement and missed injury detection. By slowing down the response, the body is given time to reveal hidden damage before it worsens. In practice, this step requires no equipment, only awareness. Sit or lie still, scan your body systematically, and avoid rushing decisions. One important caution is that sudden head movement or standing too quickly during this phase may worsen dizziness or unnoticed injury. A harmless but common side effect of this careful pause is temporary anxiety, which usually settles once safety is confirmed. After a fall, avoid 3 critical mistakes: standing up too quickly without assessment, ignoring delayed symptoms, and assuming mild pain means no serious injury. These errors often worsen hidden damage and slow recovery. A fall is not simply an accident of aging. It is often a signal of declining balance, muscle strength, and bone stability that can be improved with proper attention. Over the next 30 days, focus on safety-first movement, daily balance awareness, adequate hydration, and early response habits after any instability. The goal is not just recovery from one fall, but protecting independence, mobility, and confidence in daily life going forward.